striking man. He, and I don't know how many of you heard me say, his mother was black and half Cherokee Indian, and his father was a white man. And he wore, his hair was just white silky hair, and he always wore it long down to his shoulder. So anytime he walked downtown, people from both sides of the street would always stop, talk to him, shake his hand, how are you, Mr. Poindexter? He was just very well loved in this town. So when he passed away in 1907, 2,000 people would attend his funeral. That's how big of a funeral he had. And there's really never been quite another person like him. If you're familiar with, they're tearing them down probably as we speak, Poindexter Village, that was the first public housing development in the USA. Eleanor Roosevelt would come here, help cut the ribbon, and it's being torn down now.
My mother and daddy had several kids. Every time they had a little girl, they named us after a southern state. I was named Louisiana, southern state. I was named Louisiana after my mama, but I had a sister named Florida, and I had a sister named Missouri. So they were very patriotic folk. Well, so they accepted my daddy. I mean, he did talk funny like a Yankee, but still, they accepted him down there. Everything was fine until 1858. That was the year my mama passed away, and that was a very sad year. I was just barely 9 or 10, and that really hurt me, to lose my mama at a young age. Anybody done that before? You know how it feels. You just feel so angry at the world. I was just angry. I didn't want my mama to die, and I was just so angry. Everybody thought I had a bad temper. Well, I did, but that was the reason, and I was just so hurt. Now, a couple years after that, the Yankees came. Congress declared war on the South. You know about that. 1861. And there we were. Look, and little New Madrid was sitting right in the middle of the Mississippi River. And whoever controlled the Mississippi was going to win that war. They had to get Vicksburg, they had to get New Orleans, and they sure enough had to get New Madrid. And there was a little island in the channel there called Island Number 10. You heard of that, sir? The Confederates took it right away, early part of the war, because they wanted to control the river. Well, the Yankees weren't going to stand for that. So General Polk took a group of men down there, and they bombarded Island Number 10, and they kept it up for months. We heard those cannonballs banging over there. It was right near our plantation.
Some fine morning we'll all awake to find the stand that the women will take. They'll change this world all upside down. We'll have a Lady Mayor.
The other thing that we remember Belle for that she did that was unusual for a woman of her day, she was a very active suffragette. Her mother, Elizabeth Greer, was president of the Franklin County Women's Suffrage Association, called the League of Women Voters. The association was known to have meetings in Belle's home when she was a little girl, so she grew up in this whole atmosphere of women's rights and the fight for women's rights. In 1912, she and her mother organized the largest rally ever held at Bell State House. 5,000 people marched on the Columbus State House to demand the right of women to vote. And of course, 8 years later, the 19th Amendment is passed. Women get the right to vote just in time to vote for the Harding Cox election.
Flood helped spark people's ideas of let's clean up the riverfront, let's change what it looks like. And Frank Packard was really leading the group in calling for that. He had called for the city to develop a planning commission and to develop zoning. So he really championed the cause of developing the Civic Center. And also this was prompted by, in 1921, City Hall, which wasn't located where it is today. It was located at where the Ohio Theater is located today. It burned. The building that was in the place, the Ohio Theater was then built later on. So again, this was another reason to focus on the riverfront. So Packard tirelessly championed this idea, created an architectural model of City Hall, what it looks like today, to get people enthusiastic and think about what the riverfront could become.
James Thurber, of course, the great satirist, great writer, known especially for his magazines, the magazine The New Yorker, in which he was published. A lot of his short stories started there, and then they later, as he got popular, collected them into books, and collections and collections and collections of books that carry Thurber's name on it. He was also known for his cartoons. You see the dog there, and this is another great example of a little cartooning. The Thurber dogs became very, very well known.